It's basically a Zoom party with loads of people covered in glitter.
Well, we can agree then that we've all been doing all right. We've all been surviving. And I wanted to just check in because whenever I've been looking at you guys' Instagram, you do seem to have kept yourselves pretty busy. Like, even though these songs, I feel like they're wrapped up and good to go, you've still been in the studio. Have you ever had any opportunity for rest?
I think we just were so immersed in the record and the world and the process that we just didn't want to stop. And actually, it's funny. I feel like the last time we spoke, we talked about how we were still in the studio writing extra songs, and that process, basically continued. So we ended up writing one extra song to go on the record. We just kept going until we literally were forced to stop.
Well, I mean, I suppose lockdown, there's never been a better time for a double album. I mean, people have got the time to listen to it, so.
That's true.
It's true.
Well, you are back with the next single from this upcoming album, and it's called Typhoons, and my initial reaction to hearing this was just yes. Yeah, it's carrying on that scuzzy dance vibe from Trouble's Coming. Is there a story behind this one?
This song was actually written during lockdown number 1.
Okay.
And we were in the middle of tracking the record, and we had to stop. We had to go home, and during that time, we have basically a very small studio that we work out of, and I went down there and just started writing really for the sake of writing. At the time, we felt like we had our record in the bag, so there wasn't really any reason to go in and do it, which is the best reason to go and do anything, really, especially music. Yeah, this track really came out of boredom, you know, and from entertaining ourselves. And I think we've always made music for ourselves, but I think when you're really, really bored and there's no reason to do anything, that's when you really start making art and music that it feels like it's just yours. And yeah, we went back into the studio and it was safe to do that. And it just felt like we had this atomic bomb in our hands. And
nice.
I think lyrically as well, it began to sort of draw some lines together, and it felt like we had a theme, you know?
Yeah. Well, I was watching a few other interviews earlier today, and I did hear you describe the chorus riff from Trouble's Coming as a chubby kid in a suit covered in glitter dancing at the prom, which I love. And I wanted to ask, how are you going to describe this one?
I'm going to leave that description to Ben Thatcher.
Okay, so this chubby kid's been dancing a lot, and he's pulled the girls.
Yeah.
He's still covered in glitter though, because that stuff doesn't come off you. But he is now.
It doesn't.
He's now getting ready for this big storm that's coming, which is hopefully going to blow this glitter off of him. But he's still dancing away. It's just part 2. His brother's getting involved. He's ringing his mates, and
now it's a party.
Get on Zoom. There's a party going on right here. Let's celebrate. And so it's basically a Zoom party with loads of people covered in glitter.
Lads, this way it just builds and it leaves us wanting for so much more. You described there that it's like the storm is coming. And I did want to ask sort of, who's the best dancer in the band?
That's difficult.
It's
different styles. We have such different styles, don't we, really?
We do. It's like, who's better at breakdancing? Probably me. But ballroom?
Yeah. You're also very good at getting other people to dance, which I think...
It's true.
For a rhythm section only band, I would say you'd expect us to be a lot better.
Right, okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, these are dance tunes at the end of the day. You've got influences in there like Daft Punk, Justice, and I mean, I can hear a little bit of Soul Wax in this one as well. What do you think about
that? Yeah, why not? Why not? I know what you're getting at. I feel like this song has all of our influences in it. I think going back to what I was saying earlier as well about how it was made in that kind of environment of pointlessness, how there's no reason to really go and do this. It was just for fun. I think as well that meant that we weren't restricting ourselves in any way. And I feel like this song, we kind of pushed it further than ever.
Yeah.
And perhaps had a bit more guts to take an extra step forwards, and I think that really comes across in the track as well.
There's definitely something that I sort of picked up on, and it was like this glittery sort of shimmery thing that's in the pre-chorus. That's not something I've really heard on your music before, and is that like a sign of things to come with more experimentation and more like electronics, I guess?
Yeah, we were both watching The Last Dance at the time.
Okay.
And the walk-on theme for the Chicago Bulls, it really, really inspired me. And I wanted to do something, just sneak something in there. So in the pre-chorus, you can kind of hear that.
Nice.
And Ben's been always wanting to play chimes on stage. And that's another dream that came true for Ben. Isn't it, Ben?
It is. Many dreams are coming true.
Well, this is the second flavour of something bigger, album number 3. And I've got to ask, guys, like, when can we expect that? Is there a date set in place yet?
It is April the 30th.
There you go. Then you heard it here first. Cannot wait to hear more of these tunes. I wanted to talk a little bit. Last time you were on, we talked about your guys' first band together, Flavor Country. And Ben,
getting a lot of coverage at the moment.
Yeah. Well, I saw it on James Corden as well. And one thing that I didn't know is that, Ben, you were the guitarist in that band, right?
I pretended to play guitar. Yeah.
You're still pretending to play the drums, and that's going rather well.
That is true, yeah.
Well, I did want to ask, sort of, have you been given the opportunity to step out from behind the kit on any of the tunes on this new record?
I like to stay put. This record definitely needs me to stay put because there's a lot going on.
There really is.
It's nice to keep it together. But there's bits of percussion and bits that I do, hand claps, and keeping the beat down for me.
Guys, I wanted to pick your brains on live music just a little bit because, whenever we can get back to it, I know that we're all going to be itching to see this show live. And for those that don't know, it's all in the press at the minute about bands being able to tour in Europe with this Brexit deal that's on the table. Where are you guys at with it? Because it's not looking good for particularly smaller bands and their crews, is it?
No. And I think if you're a smaller band, the cost of, I think what people don't realize is this, the cost of touring. It's a very expensive thing to do. And if you're a smaller band that doesn't have the support of a label or just doesn't have perhaps a huge following, it's basically made it impossible to go and do that. And, we're friends with lots of bands on that scale. And it's looking like, for them, it would be impossible to now go to Europe and go and tour because it's just too expensive. You won't be able to afford it.
I mean, for those that don't know, basically, it's going to involve a whole load of different permits and working visas and stuff like that. And like you said, it's going to make it kind of impossible for smaller bands. How important was it for you in those early days to get out to other countries and show them your music? Oh,
crucial. Absolutely crucial. I mean, before our first album was out, we quite relentlessly went touring. We never really stopped till our second album, to be honest with you. But the very beginning of that was doing exactly what we're talking about. It was going around Europe and it was playing to one person, to 10 people, then randomly 30 people would show up, and we'd just do that for ages until it accumulated. But it's not just building a fan base either. It's cutting your teeth, and
exactly.
It's screwing up on stage and which I still managed to do. And it's a part of becoming a band. If you take that away, then you're taking away the ability for a band to grow.
Definitely. I mean, it's incredibly frustrating to read about, and a lot of musicians have got behind it and written an open letter to government. But I guess for now, all we can do is wait and see what happens. Now, I want to bring it back a little bit more positively. We are going to eventually be able to see you guys live again. And I wanted to know, are you going to be throwing the kitchen sink at this? How Spinal Tap do you reckon you're going to go with these performances? Because it's been a while.
It has been a while. I don't think we're alone in wanting to come back with a bit of a bang. I mean, it's funny. It's playing live is something that we fantasize about now in the same way that we did when we were 15, 16, and you think of all the things you could do on stage, and, it is going to come back, and there's obviously still a long way to go until that can happen. But yeah, when we do come back, we're going to go absolutely mental.
Absolutely. Ben, can we expect maybe like a spinning drum platform like Kiss and bands like that, Travis Barker style?
Absolutely, yeah. It's all being planned out right now.
Beautiful. Guys, thanks so much for coming on the show tonight. Always lovely to see you, and we'll catch up with you soon. Fingers crossed.
Thank you so much.
Radio X.